A huge welcome to this week's Sunday Night Live, where again, we're actually going to be having a dive into some different ways of thinking when it comes to sleep. So we actually had such great feedback from last week when we were looking at different things to think when you were focusing on anxiety or feeling anxiety. So I thought that we would continue that with what to think if you ever catch yourself during either trying to fall asleep during the night thinking, oh, I just can't sleep. If you are struggling at all, or maybe you know someone who does, tag them below, share it, because you just do not know if someone you know struggles with sleep. So I often talk about sleep hygiene in the Warrior Academy. This is something that we're really keen on, because sleep just fuels your brain. That massively supports your mental health, physical health, your digestive system. It massively impacts. If you have stomach issues, so much of it can be linked with having a decent night's sleep. So that's a whole different live. So let's focus on what to think if you are ever catching yourself laid there going, oh, and you're tossing and turning and you just can't sleep. And then I'm going to come on to what affirmations are and what they are not. Might kind of weave it in. So if you ever find yourself not being able to sleep, rather than focusing on, oh, I'm going to be so tired tomorrow, you start checking the time, counting down how many hours you've got left. I've done that so many times in the past where I check my phone, I'm like, great, it's 2:30 in the morning, I've got 4.5 hours till I've got to get up for work. And then next minute it's 3.5, 2, and your mind is on this countdown. If you ever find yourself laid there going, I'm too hot, I'm too cold, what have I got to do tomorrow? Why did I say this to this person? And we're fueling ourselves with these anxious thoughts. So here are some examples that you can say instead. So really kind affirmations for yourself. Number 1, my mind and body relaxes as I focus on my breathing. So a great thing to do, rather than thinking about all those things you could be doing, should have done, may have to do, what if this happens, focus on your breathing. Now that is the one thing 24/7 you do have control over. Just by focusing on your breath, taking those just quite natural breaths if you need to, take a big deep breath in, almost sigh it out if you need to, but your mind and body will naturally relax as you focus on your breath. So just keep reminding yourself of that, bringing your focus back to your breathing. Another really key one is, I am safe as I am where I am. Something, again, we mentioned this last week when we were talking about anxiety, is one of our basic human needs is to feel safe. It was built in us from tiny babies, and it follows through all the way to being an adult. And that is feeling safe in your environment, but also feeling safe in who you are. So just reminding yourself, it's okay if you catch yourself feeling anxious. I used to clench my jaw a lot in my sleep, and this affirmation really helped us to go, okay, it's okay, I'm safe. Now I'm going to intervene with what an affirmation is, because notice that even just so far, I've not laid there, or I've not said lay there and think to yourself, I sleep well. I am a great sleeper. Sleep is my best friend. I naturally fall asleep, and no, because every time you say an affirmation like that to yourself, if it's 10 foot above where you are, if it's a huge leap up from where you are, your mind's going to go, well, hang on a minute. No, you're not. You're not sleeping. You're not really a natural sleeper. You've not. And then you're going to be like, well, yes, I am. I'm going to sleep really well tonight. So what you want to be doing is just beginning to bridge the gap between being a great sleeper. When we look up, it's like anything, whether it's a goal, anything, when we look up and we're like, holy crap, that is a long way up. I don't know how I'm going to get up there. Safety, comfort, I'm just going to stay here, even if it means us being in pain, even if it means us not sleeping very well. So we want to start to tell ourselves, okay, it's fine, I'm safe. Start with your basic human needs, such as safety, rather than jumping straight up to the, I'm a fantastic sleeper. And just very quickly, like, that is what I personally believe affirmations should be. I've listened to probably thousands of affirmation recordings and trainings and all sorts over the years. And it's one thing I will say forever is to start where you are. And it's almost like going to that next feel-good thought. What can take you just that little bit further up, and then just keep going from there, because your mind will be responding to the feelings that you have as well as the thoughts. So if you're thinking something really drastic that just doesn't align with who you are, it's probably going to make you feel more anxious. It's probably going to make you go, well, you're lying. So it's just how our minds work. So really begin by easing yourself into them. This is why I've created an image that I will share with you tomorrow. Here's another really cool one. I have done my best today. Tomorrow is a new day. If you find yourself laid there, and you can use this during the day as well. If you sat there and you're like, God, oh my God, I'm so dreading going to bed tonight. I never sleep. Or, oh, tomorrow, have I done enough? Yes, just reminding yourself, I've done my best today. Tomorrow is a new day. Take a deep breath. It's okay for me to rest and relax. So I got brought up in an environment, my parents were proper doers. Like, I would wake up on a Saturday morning and my mum would be outside with the hedge clippers at like 7:30 in the morning in the rain, just always doing something. And that naturally imprinted me. I am very much a doer. I find it quite hard to just sit down and fully relax. It's something I practice and I'm quite good at now, but it's taken time and I have to often remind myself. So when I'm in bed, I even now can sometimes find myself thinking like, oh, should I send that email very quick? Or, oh, I should have done this. Or, okay, tomorrow, so I'm going to... No, it is okay for me to rest and relax. Remind yourself of that if you've got a very busy mind. We've just got a couple more. I feel calm and safe in my bedroom. So something that I would definitely recommend is using a nice scent just to spray your room, because we are sensory beings. If you can begin to, say for instance, always spritz your pillow with some lavender before getting into bed, like, your mind will begin to associate that smell rather than that smell with your grandma's house. It will begin to associate that smell with being relaxed, with being in that safe space, with sleep. The boys, for example, so the twins are now 6 months old, and every night from birth, when they started sleeping upstairs in their next to me cribs, I've always spritzed the bedroom with lavender spray. They now know as well for nap times, as soon as they smell that, they're like, straight to sleep. So I'd highly recommend that. No one needs me in this moment. Now it is time for me to be caring towards myself. If you are someone who loves to please people, if you are someone that likes to put other people first, of course I'll go and get this for you, and of course I don't mind doing that. Remind yourself, if you've got that overactive mind again, no one needs you in that moment, whether it's 10 o'clock, 11, 3 in the morning, it's okay. No one needs you right now. The world is not going to stop if you are resting. 2 more. There is nothing I need to do to fall asleep. It will just happen when it's time. Just something along these lines. They haven't got to be word for word, but something along these lines of, I haven't got to do anything to fall asleep. We don't have to count sheep. We don't have to force ourselves. We don't have to keep checking the time. I'm just going to trust that when my mind and body are ready, it's going to happen. That surrender is really, really powerful in everything. So when it comes to sleep, when it comes to your mind and your body relaxing, really, really good one. And lastly, everything that I have to do will be handled better in the morning after a good night's sleep. If you're thinking, worrying about tomorrow, worrying about the future, worrying about what's going to happen, there is nothing you can do whilst you're laid in bed. There just isn't. And when you begin to remind yourself of that, the body and mind relaxes, because we can put ourselves, again referring to what we were saying last week with the anxiety, you can put yourself into a state of anxiety by thinking and wondering, and I should have, what happens if, I could do, these fear-based thoughts, and then we slip into fight, flight, or freeze. And if you think about fight or flight, if like from an animal place, like an animal point of view, which we all are, you're not going to be falling asleep. Like your body is going to, your blood's going to rush to your hands and your feet. You're going to be fueled with adrenaline, the last thing you need when you're trying to drift off. I'm just trying to think if there's any other. Personally, and I've shared this before, I think, is since having the boys, I often get woke up at random times during the night, whether it's a drop dummy, whether it's a bit of teething. The random night, it's like they're just hungry for a bottle randomly. It doesn't happen very often, but it does. I very rarely check the time, because if I know it's 2:30 or 3 in the morning and I've been up and I've been doing bits and bobs, like my mind is going to go into that thing of, oh God, you're going to be so tired tomorrow. You only got like 2 hours until you're going to have to get up. Whereas if we just rest and relax, and it's okay, we're up, it's okay. I'm not going to focus too much on the time. I'm not going to start overthinking. I'm not going to start counting down. As soon as I can, I'm going to get back in bed, if I can. If not, I'll make up for it tomorrow. The last thing you want to be doing is stressing about things. And my final thing, from a personal point of view, something that a lot of clients have found really, really positive to do, is listen to some guided meditation just before bed, or listen to some nice relaxing music. Listen to, this is probably more for babies, I kind of sometimes have it on for them. There's white noise. There are so many recordings on YouTube, 8-hour relaxation music. Just having something on in the background for some people can really help. So I will be sharing tomorrow the post that has got all of these affirmations on, so that you can save them, you can share them, you can print them out, stick them, like do whatever you want with them. But the key thing to remember is about being kind to yourself. If we were to just see this as not just sleep, but whatever you are saying to yourself, if you're trying to ease any anxiety, if you're trying to release worry, if you're trying to stop these fear-based thoughts, no matter what area of your life, when it comes to affirmations, don't worry about jumping to, I am my most confident self, or I am a great sleeper, or I can manifest £100,000 in a month. Like, we want to begin to practice affirming to yourself the basics and building your way up to sort of the next stage up. Feel within if the affirmations feel right to you. If they trigger something that makes you go, oh, it's a bit like a dis-ease inside, or it makes you feel a bit uneasy, or you get that kind of like, no, that's not true. And then your body's going to be like, what's she on about? Bring it back a step. So all you gotta do is bring it back a step. Start with the little things. And for the next few weeks, I promise I'm going to be sharing lots of these every single Sunday, different things that you can think, because these go alongside the warrior bands. I get asked about these kinds of things all the time. I'm wearing my band. I keep having these thoughts. What can I replace them with? How do I change this habit? How do I change? We've got to start by what's going on up here. I'm struggling with anxiety and I don't know what to do about it. I'm so worried about COVID. I'm so worried about this. I'm stressed to the nines about money. Okay, we're going to bring it all the way back, and we're going to start by just thinking about what we're saying to ourselves and how that's making us feel, because it's how you feel that gives off your energy. And we know that whatever energy you're giving off, you're just going to get that back tenfold. So yes, Thomas, you know this stuff. Hi Chris, I'm glad that you were enjoying this. Yeah, so Chris, you've got some great things here to begin to replace those counting down the hours. It's like the last thing that we want to be doing, because your mind, I would never forget, last tiny little thought, when I got like hooked on checking the time during the night, I would always wake up at like 3 minutes past 3, or I think it was 3:05, and it was like, oh my God, it got to the point where it became a habit for my body to wake up at 3:05. How that just shows how in tune by what we focus on, our mind brings up as important to us. And it got to the point where I was like, let me guess. Oh, it's 3:05. Great, I've got 4 hours till I've got to be up. And it lasted months until I started to like turn my clock round and then not see that as an important thing. And then my mind just got bored of it and it was like, okay, you can sleep through. So yes, have a great rest of your evening. Please let me know if this has been handy for you. If you would be so kind, it would be awesome if you could share or tag anyone who you think that may benefit from this. You just don't know. You just don't know who needs to hear this. You never know how many times I listen to your meditation. That is so cool. Yeah, in the Warrior Academy, we've got so many different ones for like everything. We've got a new one coming actually as well, Chris, that I'm going to be sharing next week, so you'll be very happy. So have a great rest of your day, evening, whenever you are watching this back, and I look forward to no doubt catching you very soon. Enjoy!